A pleasant morning to members of the media and welcome to the TTPS weekly media briefing. I'm Acting Superintendent Wayne Mystar, Public Information Officer of the TTPS, and we are here Wednesday, 3rd July for our media brief. Just before we start and just before I introduce our guests, I'd just like to remind persons of our latest initiative, My TTPS, and of course that is an initiative by the TTPS asking members of the public to submit whatever pictures, videos you have of police officers, catching the police officers doing the correct thing. So once you have a video or picture, you can upload it, hashtag MyTTPS, also on the TTPS Facebook page and so on, and get that information out and let us partner with the TTPS to making this place into a better society. Together with me on the media briefing this week is the Assistant Superintendent, Ms. Guy-Alleyne, and she is attached to the Child Protection Unit, and she will give us some pertinent information as it relates to what's happening at that particular unit. So, ma'am, pleasant morning.
Good morning, and thank you, Mr. Mystar. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, members of the media. I am Guy-Alleyne, Assistant Superintendent of Police, attached to the Child Protection Unit of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. For the year to date, officers attached to the unit have laid 244 charges and made 97 arrests. The work at the Child Protection Unit is vital and continues to have an impact. However, we need the cooperation and support of parents and guardians and caregivers to ensure the protection of the nation's children. Since its establishment, the Child Protection Unit has been informing the public about the standard of care required for children, as one report of abuse of a child is one too many. We continue to conduct outreach programs with our stakeholders, which include government agencies, non-governmental organizations, schools, youth organizations, and churches, both in Trinidad and Tobago. We emphasize preventative measures to ensure the nation's children are kept safe, and we are well equipped to prosecute when offenses are committed. Today's briefing would focus on parental supervision and child safety. This is crucial and timely in light of the upcoming long vacation period. General parental supervision. Generally, these activities children are involved in during the long vacation. Camps, visits to the malls and cinemas, visits to swimming pools, rivers, beaches, water theme parks, parties, sleepovers. These activities should be supervised by respected parents. Do not take your eyes off the children while they are exposed to water activities. Know with whom your children are being transported to and from these activities. During the vacation period, it can be a time of freedom and diversion for the nation's children. And we need to protect them from themselves by exercising extra care and supervision. Parents are advised to do due diligence on the camps they plan to send their children. This includes health and safety inspection of the facilities, ensuring that persons handling food and beverages are in possession of food badges, and that the environment is clean. You are also advised to seek out references from other parents or persons who are familiar with the different camp establishments. Such measures are needed to assess whether or not the camp is reputable and kid-friendly. If they are not attending camp, they must be left at home. They must not be left at home without supervision. of a responsible and trustworthy adult. Parents are cautioned against going on vacation trips and leaving their children alone or leaving children in the care of other children. This is a form of parental neglect, and it is against the law. You must know the whereabouts of all of your child and be mindful of the company they keep, where they socialize, and with whom they are socializing. Are your children being supervised by a responsible adult, or is it peer control activity? It is your responsibility to ask questions. If they are overnighting by a friend, get contact information for the friend's parents, their exact living address, and other pertinent information. Remember that you are responsible for your child, and that the responsibility means accountability. Public spaces such as health centers, parks, cinemas, and malls can be targeted by predators. Unsupervised children are always more vulnerable. If they are heading to the movies, do research on the film they plan on viewing. Such information is available online and on cinema websites. Social media and online content. Social media, the internet, and online content continue to be a source of both positive and negative influences in the lives of our children. Parents have a duty to monitor their children's online activities and access their digital content. Be mindful of their social media persona, how they represent themselves and who they are friends with on the different platforms. Sexual predators and other questionable persons use these forums to lure, incite, and groom children. Children who seek validation via social media are more vulnerable to online bullying and entrapment. Advise them to avoid disclosing their location and itinerary online. There is also the issue of screen dependency, whereby children become addicted to smartphones, tablets, laptops, and other touchscreen devices. Regulate the amount of time spent on these devices. Talk to them about the content they are disseminating and receiving, such as pictures, videos, as well as written posts. Sexual material is now easily accessible through social media platforms. Sexual material and having candid conversations in their lives can influence your child. There are also protective software and other measures that can be utilized to block or filter non-kid-friendly sites or digital material. Arm yourself with the knowledge so that you can effectively exercise your parental duty. Sexuality and safety. Parents are advised to speak to their children regarding touching. Differentiate between good touch and bad touch. Teach them the correct names for their genitals. Avoid the nicknames, please. Do not force or persuade your child to show physical affection to anyone if they express or display discomfort. Foster rapport and trust between you and your children so they can feel comfortable when discussing issues of sexual nature or matters of sexual abuse. Teenage pregnancy continues to be an ongoing issue with severe economic and social ramifications, including health risks. Since the formation of the unit in 2015, we have captured over 500 reports of teenage pregnancy. Parents must play a pivotal role in their children's sexual education and reaffirm their responsibilities. Children deserve freedom and support. However, full autonomy and too much privacy can lead to issues. The role and distinction between a parent and a child must be maintained. If children are treated as adults, they are likely to engage in adult activities. Mandatory reporting. According to the law, a child is a person under the age of 18 years. If you are the parent, guardian, or caregiver of a child who has been sexually abused in any way, the law mandates for you to report to any police or police station. Section 31 of the Sexual Offences Act states that any person who is the parent or guardian has custody, charge, or control of a minor and has reasonable grounds for believing that a sexual offense has been committed in respect of that minor shall report the grounds for his belief to a police officer as soon as practicable. This section includes parents, caregivers, guardians, teachers, medical practitioners, registered nurses, and midwives. If found guilty of the offense under this section, the fine is $15,000, or you can be sentenced up to 7 years or face both the fine and imprisonment. A child cannot consent to sexual activity. Be reminded that you are to desist from making false reports, especially where custody battles are concerned. You can be charged with wasteful employment of police. Obstructing prosecution. The law also addresses the issue of obstructing prosecution. Section 31A of the Sexual Offences Act, Chapter 1128, states that a person who prevents a minor from giving a statement to the police or testifying in the proceedings relating to a sexual offense commits an offense. They are liable on summary conviction to a fine of $20,000 and to imprisonment for a term of up to 10 years. It is important that all persons in authority or in control of children understand the obligations that the law places on them. You are required to make a report to the police, and you must cooperate with the investigation. An investigation is the process of unearthing the facts about an issue. It is in your child's best interest to facilitate and trust the process. In closing, I wish to remind citizens that the possession and distribution of child pornography is an offense in Trinidad and Tobago. Section 40 of the Children Act, Chapter 4601, states that any person who knowingly makes or permits to be made any child pornography publishes, distributes, transmits, or shows such content commits an offense and is liable on conviction on indictment to a fine of $30,000 and to imprisonment for 10 years. It means, in fact, that if you receive images or content depicting sexual activity involving children and you forward, broadcast, or post it, you can be prosecuted. Members of the media and the listening public, we at the Child Protection Unit of Trinidad and Tobago Police Service continue to do our part to protect the nation's children. We need parents and guardians to assist. You are the authorities in your families. Monitor and control your sphere of operation. We also need the media to support, to accurately and respectfully disseminate information in a manner that avoids victim shaming and blaming by sensationalizing. In partnership with our communities and stakeholders, we can make Trinidad and Tobago safe for our children. Thank you.